It means a lot. It's definitely, I think, I got no words. I mean, I love this team, love the people around me, and I'm just really just a blessing. Kind of a feeling that really hasn't hit me yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, as a captain, what point do you want to make? I mean, where do you want to lead this team, so to speak? What do you have in mind, from the standpoint?
Man, we just want to be tough, to be honest with you. I mean, we know we got athletes, we know we got skill, but I mean, I think toughness, like Coach Dave's talked about, I mean, that's a learned trait. I think we're really come along in that aspect. I mean, we're trying to come out there and be fast, physical, and be as talented as we are, but we're trying to go out there, we're trying to get after people. So we're trying to get tough and just win ball games.
Did you want to be a captain?
Oh yeah, I think growing up in Ohio and just looking at everybody, looking at the captains came before me, and just the people that you look up to. I mean, I really always look back at Jonathan Cooper. I mean, like when I was a freshman coming in here, I was like, damn, like I just tried to model everything after. He has no clue. I mean, I didn't really talk a whole lot, but I would just look at that dude and be like, I need to be like that guy. Like, watch what he does, watch how he handles things, watch how he talks to the team, and I mean, that's just what I've tried to do. And a lot of times I find myself looking like in a situation like, I mean, what would Coop do in this situation?
So, like, when did you start to apply that to your
As soon as I really got comfortable, like with where I was playing. That's kind of hard to lead when you don't really know what's going to come next and where you're going to play next. But once I got comfortable, I found a little bit of a route here for me and it felt good. And that's kind of when it really clicked.
So do you feel like this one is like your room now as you kind of settled in this position?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. I feel good about where I'm at. I feel good about the people I got around me, and we're just happy to see where it goes.
When we were out at practice last week, looks like you made a couple nice plays as a deep receiver. Is that an area where you feel like you've made growth this year?
Right. Me and Keenan Bailey, like 3 or 4 nights a week, 5:15 after class in summer. I mean, we come out here and we spend 45 minutes an hour every day just working top ends, route work, and footwork and stuff. That's really, like I said earlier in the spring, that's something I've never done before. And Keenan's, probably the best held secret in this whole entire place. I mean, that dude's got. I love talking to that dude. He helps me so much, and he's just a very, very smart mind.
Hey, Cade, can you
Yeah. Sorry.
Cade, when you talk about finding that route, that path for you, that position where you could get comfortable and become yourself, think back to maybe training camp a year ago. Like, how do you feel differently now than you did a year ago?
No, guy, it's completely. I was just talking to my mom and dad. They come up for the family brunch thing yesterday, and it's. I mean, you talk about where you were a year ago, 2 years ago. I mean, sometimes you're sitting there, you're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here? To be honest with you, and to the point where I feel right now, where I feel comfortable, I feel good, I feel confident about where I'm at. And that's really the biggest part for me.
Was there a day this year where you stopped worrying that the next day you'd show up to practice and be like, go play linebacker?
No, that still comes every once in a while. I don't know if in the dream or not, but I've never been counted out. But I like playing where I'm at. I feel comfortable where I'm at. I feel like it was the best decision for me and this team. So overall, I think it was a good decision.
Coach Wilson was talking about the ability that you and Mitch have together. If it gets into these short yardage, red zone situations, to go block is that big package. What is it like working next to Mitch? What is it that you two bring to that spot that can? There's been a lot of talk about just getting those extra yards and short yardage from this offense. Like, why are you two able to do that?
Right. Mitch is tough. He's good. He's a good ball player. I mean, he's been around a while, so he got a good IQ for the game and stuff. So I think just coming off the ball together, he's going to have a lot of velocity and hopefully a lot of movement. What we got to do.
Coach Wilson. Go ahead. What you see from G and Joe?
They're good. I mean, they're good. They want to go hard. I mean, they want to be tough. Just like everybody's young at some point. You just got. Only way you learn is if you keep rolling. So, they're progressing good.
For G specifically, have you seen him make that transition from being a receiver playing tight end to now being a real tight end?
Right. Yeah, he's came a long way. He's put on the weight. He's worked hard in his blocking game and stuff like that. So he's really come a long way.
You mentioned coming 3 to 4 times, I guess, with Keenan Bailey and kind of like working on some of the route running stuff. What does a workout like that entail? What are sort of the drills you're doing?
All kind of stuff. Working on your eyes, working on top ends of routes. Where your leverage at, where you got to attack, where you got to stick, where your landmarks are at, and stuff like that. Just stuff I've never really learned ever. To be honest with you, I never played the spot. So, and Keenan coming from the receiver room, he knows. He's really with us in the tight end room a lot now, so it helps tremendously having him around.
Coach Wilson was saying your strides are longer now in your route running. I guess before he felt maybe you were taking kind of a choppier footstep. He said those are longer now. Do you feel that way running routes?
I think overall just faster than I move better than what I used to. I feel more confident, so I guess that's probably just a test that I know when I'm doing a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
Coach Wilson said last year, but earlier this year, when it came that time for you to make a decision on where you ended up wanting to play this year, you kind of had to make it for you, not necessarily for the team. I mean,
Right.
do you remember that come to your senses moment when you decided offense is where you wanted to be, tight end is where you wanted to be?
Yeah,
Explain why you made that final call.
That's a good question, to be honest with you. It just kind of, it had to do with conversations about, what's the end-term goal for me?
Yeah.
I don't know how many teams anymore want a 6'5", 260-pound middle linebacker anymore. I think 30 years ago, I would be playing middle linebacker, and it wouldn't be a question about it. But I think with today's game, the way things are, and the way our defensive line was, and playing the 4-down defense and having all those guys out there, and then having the experience over at tight end already, and looking at tight end numbers, combine numbers about where you stand and where you come out and stuff, and you came out.
Yeah.
It just made more sense to go over there and play tight end, and really I came back with a much clearer mindset than when I came over there the first time.
Yeah, and a 6'5", 265 tight end is still a matchup problem
Right.
for defenses, right?
Right.
You look that far ahead, right?
Right. You look about where you can excel. Where people are going to want you to play at, where your prototypical body's going to be at, and what you can do. I think tight end was really just the best decision for me.
Not to say you don't want to compete, because clearly your demeanor says you want to compete. But did you at all look at that linebacker room in the spring and just the amount of guys in there, in comparison to the amount of guys in the tight end room, kind of did that help make a decision at all?
No, never. Not really. Just even when I committed here, the linebacker room was stacked full of people. I think I was ever really. Tommy and Steele, I live with those guys. Those are my two best friends. Like, living my whole life here.
When you upset when you left the room?
Yeah. I was too.
When you're growing up on a farm, there are very few stars, and everybody has to do their job. Does that go a long way in you being a team player and being a leader?
Yeah. I think I've said it before. Everything I've ever done is really just a testament to how I grew up, to be honest with you. And just the way things happen there, the way things I was raised, the way I do things, the way my parents do things, my family all together. It's very impressive, to be honest with you, to be able to come over here and from a little piece of nothing town to be able to do this and just kind of sit back and be like, take it in every once in a while.
What kind of jobs did you have?
On the farm?
Yeah, I think when you announced you were coming here, weren't you in a barn with hay and a pitchfork in your hand or something?
I don't know if a pitchfork, but yeah, there was I do all kind of stuff, really. We raise cattle, we farm corn, we farm alfalfa, so we do all kind of stuff. So I'd say any job there is on the farm, I probably have touched it at some point.
You said you were looking at combine numbers and everything for the tight ends. It's like, what did you take from that? Did you see your numbers kind of match a lot of those guys?
Right. You look at the upper echelon tight ends that come out, and the dudes that test fast, the dudes that jump high, the dudes that shuttle fast, stuff like that. You look at that, and you'd be in the upper echelon of that aspect, where you come out as a tight end, as a linebacker. You're going against 6 foot, 220-pound dudes that are running 4.4. So, you kind of look at what things are and where things are at like that. So,
What's your 40s?
we haven't ran them since my freshman. I think freshman is like 4.68.
What's the biggest thing you got from the farm? The biggest thing you got from farm work is that you got to be there every day. What's the biggest thing you got that still runs with you? I know it's a lot of things, but what's
From the farm?
Yeah, from the farm, from growing up on a farm, from raising cattle, raising like you said, alfalfa. Rotating crops.
You can't take days off. It's impossible. Christmas cows eat, Thanksgiving cows eat, your birthday cows eat. There's always, they don't take days off. So, why should you really? Is how it goes. You watch Dad grow up. I watch Dad get up at 5, go to work, come home at 7:30, and then come back to the farm again. So, just watching him be able to do that and seeing his work ethic. I've always tried just to emulate just a sprinkle of what he can have. I think I'll be all right. And I don't think I'll ever be what he is. So I just try and get as close as I can.
How did he replace you, by the way? That's amazing.
Machine, maybe?
Mom.
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah.
Just for 4 years. Right now.
No, my sisters do a lot too. My youngest sister's she'll be a freshman in high school, so she I mean, she does a lot. My middle sister does a lot too, and it's really just a big, everybody pulls weight. Everybody just grabbed a little piece of what I used to do and just went along with it.
How does that show up on the football field?
But the farm aspect of everything?
Yeah, just like the mindset of it, not necessarily the
It's tough, man. That's just, I think if you think about a farmer, you think about a country fella, I mean, you're a blue-collar, tough person. And, I mean, like I said earlier, like my dad, like that's the toughest dude. Like, if I could be the same person as that kid, that's who I would be. And looking at that, I mean, and how he handles things, how he handles business, how he handles issues on the farm, whether it's, I mean, whether you got a cow sick, whether you got mechanical problems, you got all kind of stuff. And I mean, there's a mental toughness and there's a physical toughness to it too. And there's just a presence about a tough person that you want to be around.
Your demeanor is very, I just want to hit people as a football player.
Right.
It's probably how you ended up playing linebacker in the first place.
Right.
What do you like about hitting people? And like, how does that show up now as a tight end, where it is a little bit more calculated? It's not just go run after a ball carrier.
Right. To be honest with you, that's just something that's always, that's been kind of my MO from the time I started playing football. And you just don't, there's something about just the presence of being able just to be, I'm physically going to run through you and you can't do anything about it. And you can, it's just, there's no words for it, to be honest with you. That's just kind of how, I think if I tried to lose, I couldn't lose it anyway, so I don't know what, I have no clue how to explain it, to be honest with you.
Cade's just somebody who's been on defense. What kind of growth have you seen from the defense going up against them in practice?
Oh, God, that defense is, Knowles is, I mean, that's the top of the line dude right there. I'll go to war with that dude any day of the week. I love playing for him. When I was over there, we got a great relationship now, even with me being over here. I would say, if not the smartest mind on the defensive side of the ball I've ever seen in my life. And just the people the way he's got those guys playing over there, how fast and how confusing the ball. I mean, there's the looks and looks and looks and looks and looks. It's just, they're unbelievable. When he's on, that's a test to him and a test to all the dudes over there that are playing for him.
How much better does that make you as a player when you have to go up against that every day?
No, it's awesome. I mean, it gives me all the confidence in the world when we go to game day. I mean, blocking Tommy, blocking JT, blocking Zach, Steele, I mean, all those guys. I mean, those dudes get after it, and I mean, it makes you. I mean, if you take a pedal off, I mean, you take gas off a little bit, you're gonna be in trouble. So you just can't do it.
Cade, talk about Royer's hair as compared maybe to yours. He just revealed that your dad cut your hair. Is that
He's
true?
an asshole. Yeah. Yeah, he does. My dad. He's cut my hair my whole life, actually.
You like the look.
I've had the same haircut since I was probably 3 years old, and it's never changed. I refuse to go with the white guy afro as much as I don't want it.
You were rocking the full hawk before it was even popular.
All the time. Every single time. I swear to God, from 6 years old till 21 years old.
Maybe there's some kind of NIL thing
Yeah.
for the two of you.
Yeah, I'm sure Head and Shoulders would love to have him.
Yeah.
I don't really want to have the hair, though. You can go tell him that, too.
I'll pass that along.
Hey, going back to your dad, you mentioned him so much. How has it translated for you, maybe even back home? How have kids, people growing up from your hometown, your teammates view you as a captain? How have people come up to you and maybe even shown you that you are the leader to them? How do you take that?
Tremendously, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, like you brought up my dad. I just try and mimic and step after him. And I've learned more holding a flashlight than I have in any classroom. That's for sure. Just watching that guy. And when I came here, it was kind of my turn just to do it by myself. And it's been nice. It's nice to come home. And the people at home know me for who I am. And here, the people really know who I really am here. It's nice. It stems from that, though.
Is his legacy something you want to emulate for yourself, or how do you want to leave Cade Stover's name on the football field?
I definitely leave my name on it, but it all stems from that. I'm nowhere where I'm at without my dad and my mom and those guys. So, just making them proud is definitely that's my number one goal, and just being out here for these guys and my team. Just knowing that if stuff goes down anywhere you're at, they know who's going to be with them.
Do you feel like you're
already? But how did you deliver the news to your parents that being named the captain?
We actually called them. There's some video somewhere the media team did. Coach Wilson called my mom, and yeah, and that was really, we told her there and listened to her.
Do you feel like you're able to lead at a different level now that you are in position to be a starter, to play a major role on this team?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely there's a mental aspect of it there, I guess. But I mean, I guess really just being, I don't think any status is going to make you any different than who you really are. So I mean, I've always tried to look at it like, I mean, just keep your head down and go to work, and no matter where you're at in the situation.
There are a lot of you.
Last two questions for Cade.
Make any allowances for you just to follow sports or whatever other pursuit you have, or was it like you got to have everything done at home and school, obviously? But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
No. He was very. There was never.
How many balls you gonna catch this year, Cade Stover? They want to know.
40.
Oh, Cade.
Come on.
Wait, marking that down.
40. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how many balls I'm gonna catch.
Huh?
However many throw to me.
We get a few in pregame every game, right?
Yeah, I'll get like 3 or 4 during the pregame.
All right, Cade, we're good here. Guys, we good? Everybody?
No, but you were
I'll
saying.
answer that. Say it again.
Well, it was like I said. So, did he make some allowances for you to be able to do what you wanted to do?
Yeah, no, he was very. It was always. He knew football. I mean, he saw something that I didn't see in me way before anybody did. To be honest with you, he always knew that. I mean, I didn't miss any. I didn't miss any lifts in the summer. I mean, whether I would bale hay and cut hay before, go lift, then come back and do it again. But I was always. I mean, he was always. There was never any time he'd be like, no, you can't go to that. It was always go to that. Go get your. I mean, go be an athlete. Go do your thing. And that was always good.
You were one of 5 guys who was an Iron Buckeye in the offseason, and now you're a captain now. I mean, how much do you think that's important that the team is recognizing the guys who really put in the most work during the offseason?
I don't really know if it's so much as I think it shows what kind of people we've got in that locker room. I think the people we have in that locker room right now are the best people that I've ever been around, and with the best head on their shoulder we've ever been around in there. And that shows a lot to, I mean, one, the votes that happen, one, the people that want to lead them, and just the kind of people that they are in general to be able to do that.